afternoon. My name is Havana Johnson, and if I'm looking down, it's because my notes are right here. But the topics that I will be doing today, my pronouns are she, her. The topics that I will be doing today are ableism, transphobia, and fatism in reframing bodies. So, ableism is my first topic, and ableism is discrimination of and social prejudice against people with disabilities based on the belief that typical abilities are superior. Ableism affects people with disabilities by making them feel less than society. The article that really stuck out to me on this topic was Article 13.1, Ableism is the bane of my motherfucking existence. Just in the title alone, you can see how strongly Patty Bernay, and Stacey Milburn feel on the topic. In the negative tone, the two discuss how poor people and people of color been subjected and singled out in the disability rights movement. Ableism restricts people with disabilities from better job opportunities, better education, housing, and the list goes on and on. Solutions have been thought out, but never efficiently executed due to the broad problem. Patty Bernay touches on this in the article and says, the wisdom has often been marginalized in the disability rights struggle, and the solutions have often been too narrow to get to the root causes of ableism that keep people with disabilities targeted for criminalization, poverty, and isolation. Bernay. Tying this into another topic that has been an issue for ages is transphobia. Transphobia is the rejection of trans identity and a refusal to acknowledge that someone can be trans. Also, often leads to harmful redirection towards trans people and violence against trans folk. Connecting transphobia to ableism, both are singled out from society and made to feel as less than. Similar to ableism, transgenders also have a lack of opportunities, including a lack of proper education, a good job, etc. Both have to deal with the social judgment of those around them, which I can only imagine makes normal everyday tasks something that you would dread, like, for example, going to the store, going to school, etc. And a prime example of this is Article 12.5, Public Schools to Trans Girl, We Love You, Now Leave, by James Finn. So in this article, it touches base on how transphobia is affecting a young girl's education. So in the article, the young lady, trans woman, she goes to school and she expresses to her teachers and principal that she is transgender. However, they say that they accept her. They're making her abide to the male dress code, so cutting her hair, only one earring, etc., which I feel like is not really accepting her. But here's a quote that I chose. In the text it says, as for loving trans people, well, we LGBTQ folks are quite used to the Orwellian redefinitions of love that condone us morally while seeking to take away our rights, by James Finn. This connects to ableism because both don't have the same opportunities, including schools, or respect that any normal person would have. Because if you're transgender, you're transgender. Why do you have to follow by the rules? The dress code. But connecting both of these topics, ableism and transphobia, to fatism, a dislike of fat people and or obesity, or prejudice and discrimination of fat people, this topic also ties out to these groups being singled out and treated differently and without the respect that they deserve. People with a higher weight have the same struggles as the other two groups, including lack of job opportunities, less respect, fewer dating opportunities, etc. In article, I think this is 14.1, it also says that some also were refused medical assistance, which was crazy to me. I just wanted to put that in there. But fat people have been stereotyped into being lazy, less conscious, intelligent, etc. Most commonly, fat people have been victimized into bullying, which also connects to the other two topics. That is a problem in ableism and transphobia as well. Article 14.1 says Article 14.1, which is 6 tools for understanding and Dismantling Weight Stigmas and Fat Phobia by Gillian Brown speaks about the struggles of bigger people and how it affects their everyday lives. She says weight stigma and fat phobia victimizes fat people and creates a social norm whereby it is acceptable and indeed accepted for fat people to be stigmatized against. Brown. The problem in these three topics stem from I'm so sorry. The problem in these topics stem from society believing that they are less than, which is in fact not the case. So the solutions for all of these problems have to start somewhere, and I think they should personally start with spreading awareness for ableism, transphobia, and fat phobia. I think fat phobia